Here we are again, back on the pond. Been here for about 3 hours, I suppose. I've been absolutely everywhere. It's quiet angler wise, but it's even quieter fish wise. I've been all over the place. Only fish I've seen have been out the back there in those snags, or under those bushes. See 2 carp there, and that's it. But this swim is proper snag fishing. Sort of getting bolted down and there's little holes in the bushes over there. Can't give them an inch and can't leave your rods. Not exactly what I want to be doing. Oh, excuse me. But in the absence of any other sightings, I think it's going to have to be that. It's a bit mad really, it's like they've spawned, the weather's nice and moody. I think they'd be poking their heads out and feeding. There's been 2 small ones out in the last, well, over the weekend I think, as far as I know anyway. All a bit odd. There's been an awful lot of big fish somewhere doing something, or maybe even doing nothing. Don't know. Go for a little wander around before I get bolted in behind my rods. Keep hoping to see one somewhere. Oh, excuse me, keep yawning. I've been up since stupid o'clock. Woke up at 2:30. Nearly left then actually, but decided not to. Left about 4 o'clock this morning. Could probably do with a bit of sleep. Butcher's Point, this one's called. And that one's sealed off. It's too close to this one. This is the car park end. Still yawning. There's a car park over there. And the bridge through into K1 where I fished last winter. You've got to be somewhere. There's one sticking its head out would be good. Anywhere. Please. Well, we're 3-rod angling, but I could probably say that this is the swim of a man very undecided as to what he wants to do. I'm just not sure. I didn't really like it over the back there next to them snags. Struggled to find anything that looked like it had been fed on. I know it does fish regularly, but I don't know how they managed to feed without making a mark on the bottom. Found one spot on this right hand rod which has definitely been turned over. But the rest of it just looks a bit bleh. So I'm not sure. Problem is you don't see much from here. It's like that little swim I ended up in last week. Well, it's the same. This is the same channel. The bit I was fishing last week was that bit of channel there, from the next island along. You just don't get enough view. Problem is when you're snag fishing, you can't wander about and have a look. I've been fishing for all of an hour and already I feel very, very tired down. It'd be different if I'd seen a load of fish when I went out there to do my baits, but I didn't see anything when I was actually putting my rigs down. It's not as if there's not enough carp in here, that there should be some about most places. They're hiding somewhere. Now, anyone any good at maths? 3 minus 1 equals carp. That didn't take long, did it? I was so knackered from getting up so bloody early. I just dragged the bed chair out and thought I'm just going to have a little doze. 15 minutes later, beep beep, rod hooped round. I've just got back from a boat battle. It fought like mental. Absolutely went ballistic. Not a bad one. I reckon, I don't know, mid 20, maybe a bit more. It's quite a back one. Nice. Alright, calm down. Don't do you? Stay still. Sorry. Right, let's get this all sorted. I hope them buggers don't bite. Right, now, wouldn't be a Laney blog without a bit of cooking, would it? I'm absolutely starving. I've had no breakfast. All I've had is sporadic handfuls of peanuts throughout the day. I am Hank Marvin. Cob, coals. Easiest way to get them going. Can't stray very far because if I get another bite it's all a bit frantic. Got Maddie's food, but I've got no Maddie. Another refusal this week. I said it's just too early for her. I'll have to leave it till the afternoon, I think, next week before I come, then she'll be up for it. She is one lazy toad. Sweet potatoes for tomorrow with my pork chops. Tonight we've got, what have we got? Well, I'm not going to tell you, it'll be a surprise. Only thing is you can't touch that basket because that gets rusting. Forceps. Nearly. Get them glowing. Get up the temperature, slam the lid on him, and he'll be sorted. It's not the cleanest cob in the world, I know that, but it's my cob, and I like him. No idea what o'clock it is. I've had a fish, so surely that means beer o'clock. 5 to 5. So 6 minutes to 5. So in 6 minutes time, in France, it's 6 o'clock, pubs are open. So we'll go on French time today. 6 minutes. What can you do in 6 minutes? Have a fag. Oh no. Oh. Bugger. I forgot to bring the most important ingredient. The silver foil to cook me surprise cookery in. Have I got any in my rucksack? I usually have a roll of tin foil at all times. Being the sort of chef that I, oh look at that, Laney. Ha ha ha. Like some sort of domestic god. They're clean enough. That's why we don't catch COVID-19 as carp anglers, because we've got the best set of antibodies ever. There we go. Pop them in the oven. Forget about them for a while. And as soon as we're in France, French time, we'll have a cider. Sorted. Cheers. Bon whatever. Bon Cidre. The complete day. Had a carp. Cobs on the go. Beer in hand. Life is good. Would be better with my faithful hound here though. Nothing to take the piss out of. The complete day. Had a carp. Cobs on the go. Beer in hand. Life is good. Would be better with my faithful hound here though. Nothing to take the piss out of. Right then, it's that time when you burn your fingers to buggery. You probably guessed it by now. It's tandoori chicken. Thighs. I've done at home. Plain always comes over when you least need it. How are we not going to get burnt? We're just going to get burnt, aren't we? Fork, that's what I need. Where's my fork? plenty of it. Look at that lot, hey? Then 5 minutes each side or whatever, and they will be spanking. Right, well, the moment of truth is upon us. What we're going to get out of the cob tonight. Ta-ra! That looks right, doesn't it? The stick. Ooh, he lost him. They look well good. Look, happy with that. Oh yeah. Give them other four to crunch up a bit. Have them for afters. Living like kings. So there we go. All gone. They were absolutely spanking, if I say so myself. Just got a pack of chicken thighs at home, 7 chicken thighs. Use my favourite sort of tandoori spice stuff. Sprinkled it heavily all over them, big dollop of olive oil, ragged them around in a plastic bag, grip sealed it up, wrapped it in silver foil, and away you go. Simple as that. Absolutely amazing. So, that's the cookery part of the blog over. Now we just need another carp. Oh, God, look at that horizon, that's proper on the piss. There we go, that's better. So will we get another one? If we do, when will it be? It's weird, isn't it, that snag fishing just doesn't obey bite times. 3 o'clock in the afternoon-ish, I had that fish. You'd never get a fish in open water at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It just doesn't happen. You know, you're from sort of midnight till 7 AM. You put them next to a snag, or go off stalking or whatever, and all the rules go out the window. So who knows when the next one might come. I know one thing. If it don't come soon, I'll probably be asleep. Because my earlier attempts at a bit of a catch up from last night when I had none lasted about, I don't know, 15 minutes before I had that bite, I reckon. Not long anyway. I don't know what it is with me with alarms. If I set an alarm to go fishing, or to do anything, if I set an alarm to get up, I just keep waking up all the time, thinking I've missed the alarm. Set an alarm for 4, you think anyone could sleep through till 4, wouldn't you? 2:30, I'm wide awake. 3 o'clock, I'm awake. Just ridiculous. Maybe I'm just excited. Or excitable, one or the other. Or both. Morning all. Time for another maths lesson. I know it's early, 4:30 in the morning, but education is important. 3 minus 1 equals carp. That's a nice way to wake up. I was sound asleep, having the most bizarre dream. I'm definitely not going into. Pulled out that front clip, smacked up to the rod. Couldn't take any more. And I was in before I even knew what I was doing. myself a common this time. Probably all similar size, I reckon. Although I think he used to be a bit bigger before he spawned. He's got a massive head, big poppy out eyes. He's a proper character. Now we've got to put the rig back out there. Oh dear. And wake up a bit. It's all a bit of a shock snag fishing when one wakes you up in the morning. A bit frantic. But luckily he behaved himself. He just nodded his head all the way in. Stayed on the surface. Didn't try anything fancy. And there's in there. Bagged him. I bagged one. Right, things to do. See you in a bit. Right, here we go. I weren't far out. It's the same size as the other, which was 26, and this one's 27. Nice way to start. Nice way to start the day. Now, is he going to behave? He's a bit lively, you know why. He just caught him. See? You don't like the touch. Let's try the other way around. Closer to the focus. Still in focus for the video. That's better. Now he's behaving. Oh, look. It's common, so the other side's exactly the same. Get him back. Oh, nice one. Something out there where my marker is absolutely not on my marker, but just behind it. Is absolutely ripping the bottom up. That's about as far as I can zoom. You can see those two sheets of bubbles behind. Was about 20 foot to the right, and it sort of worked its way along that line. Sitting here watching it through the bins. It's obviously a lot clearer through binoculars. I had the same yesterday, right on my bait, right in front of the marker exactly where I'm fishing. 2 separate sets, sort of zigzagging up and down, crossing right over the bait without a touch on the rods. So thinking it might possibly be tench. There is also a lot of eels in here. It's just about to see now, it's just gone left. Oops, not that far left. Just gone a little bit left behind the marker now. But every now and then a great big froth comes up. It's just as well that he's doing that, because, to be quite honest, apart from that, there isn't anything else to do. Snag fishing is so boring. You just can't leave your rods. You can't like even step in the swim next door and have a look out that way, or go and have a cup of tea with a fella next door or anything like that. You just got to sit. I've done the normal Facebook and God knows what else. It gets all pretty monotonous after a while, doesn't it? I want to go for a look round. See if I can find any big uns. As I said yesterday, there's no definitive bite time for snag fishing, so when do you wind in? I will do it at some stage today. I've got to, for my sanity. Just go and check a couple of snags or something. There's not really, you know, because the clarity's quite poor, very poor at the moment. The only place I'm going to see them is in shallow water or tucked up under snags near the surface, or jumping. But, you know, jumping time is the same as the best time, first light. I'm not going to miss that. I'm going to wind in at 6 o'clock in the morning. But it's 6 o'clock in the morning where you want to be, even earlier, 5 o'clock in the morning, you want to be everywhere at once. Which is why, you know, if you're in somewhere with a decent view of the lake, or a big section of the lake at least, that's perfect. But in here, I'm fishing the River Thames. Well, it's that time of day where normally you'd be winding them in, crawling off and sitting in the shade somewhere, because the sun's coming out and it's absolutely cooking. But it's also that time of day where yesterday I had a bite. It's just coming up 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It must be a bit smoother than that. There you go. And like I say, it's roasting in there. And there's no real escape if I want to stay close enough to the rods. If I get a bite, there's not really anywhere to sit apart from in the sun. And I'm covered in these little buggers. Where are we? Maybe you can see him. Mayflies or whatever they are, damsels. They're literally all over everything. They especially seem to like my rain detector pad on the top of my head. A little helipad for them. Sure, I didn't have that before. Sure, that's the missus's COVID cut. I think she's gone a bit short on the top bit. That's what I'm blaming it on. But they seem to like landing there anyway. Well, another day comes to an end, or nearly. It's actually nowhere near as bright as it looks on that screen. That's a bit more like it. A bit perturbed that I didn't get another bite today. It's a long time since 5 o'clock this morning. I'm almost definitely going to move tomorrow. I just haven't got a clue where to. I'm going to set an alarm for 4 o'clock in the morning just to make sure I'm up. Like I said before, you can't see a lot from here, but if you stand on the end of that jetty, I can actually, especially with my binoculars, I can see that section. And if I crouch down there, I can see that section. So if anything absolutely launches out, I'm going to see it on this side of the lake. It's just an awful lot of lake the other side of this island, which I won't be able to see. There's a lot of carp missing, as in not missing gone, as in missing bloody hiding. And hiding really, really, really well. Morning all. It's 5:15 in the morning. I've been crouched out here on the end of this jetty for the best part of an hour. I feel like an owl watching a tennis match. Just been going whoop, whoop, over and over again. Tonight's my last night, and I've got to do something to add a fish to my tally. I've been looking up there, and I've been looking down there, because if they're going to show, it's going to be this sort of time of the morning, and they don't seem to be doing anything. But I can't leave them, so all I've got to look at is this lot. Just praying to see one either show right up there or out in that open water there. Right, I'm in a proper dilemma now. It's 7 o'clock in the morning. I know where there's fish. I know 2 swims that have got fish in them. I had an occurrence on this left-hand rod. Not a take as such, a tip slap round and then fell ping back with a little bit more slack, so I struck it. And I had to go out and redo the rig. While I was out there, I get a view through the gap, which is around the corner here, of the main section of the lake. And I saw 2 fish show. In the swim that's occupied, but I know mate is coming out of it today. And also they're not showing anywhere near where he's fishing. And he's been in there for 3 days. So those fish are sort of unmolested. They're literally nowhere near where he is. And I got back here and carried on my game of tennis watching. And I've just seen one come out exactly where I was wanting them to show, where I thought they were in the weed. In the swim to my right, which is also occupied. and he's also going today. So in a few hours time both those swims will be empty, and there's fish in both of them, neither of which have been fished for, because matey next door's not fishing on where they are. Everybody's still in bed. You really do miss the very best bit of it all if you don't get up at 4 o'clock. It's like missing the first half of a film. You get to see the end bits, but you ain't got a clue what's going on. And the one that come out to the right here was probably the better of the fish that I've seen. But to see a couple in, well, I've been looking for a long while out here. But to see a couple in the other swim in such a short burst of time. There must be a few out there and all. Okay, so now it's not a case of where are they, it's a case of which group do I go at. They're miles apart. I must admit this fishing, this to the right here is going to be easier fishing because it's, oh, I don't know, 6 or 7 foot, 8 foot, whatever, shallower. So I'm going to be able to find clear easier, whereas the other bit's about 14 foot deep. And the spots out there I know are very small, so they're going to be really hard to find, and I want to do as little boating as possible. So this one out here would be the easier angling, I think. It's very weedy. But I could just drift over it, and in the spots where I don't see weed, lower something down, watch it go down. Probably find spots okay. The other side, not quite so simple. Well, we've had 5 minutes of carnage. The old maths question again. What does 3 minus 2 mean? 1 carp and a great big tangle in this case. The middle rod went, which when you're fishing 3 tight against the far bank is the worst one to go. Because whichever way it goes, it's probably going to take out another line, which is exactly what happened. Middle rod went left, took out the left hand rod, so I had to go out in the boat and sort of untangle it all. But we achieved him. He's not big, and he's a pretty one, stocky, well, stocky, scaly, sort of, don't know, 19-ish. Better than poking the eye with a blunt stick. So yeah, I've got some doing to do, some repairing of the swim. First of all, I'm going to see when matey's leaving next door, I think. Because although I've just caught another one, I still want to move. Desperate to move. Right, lots to do. I'll see you in a minute. Right, matey's just come along. He's just going. So it's one of them situations. Just this second caught one, still in the net, and I'm going to move out. Bit odd behaviour, I know, but once it's in my head, it's in my head, and I think there's fish, more fish, down there in that weed that haven't been fished for a while. Everybody that goes in that swim, same as me, I do the same, not knocking anybody, fishes over there. To the reeds and the snag, everybody, including me. But that's not where they are. It's the only decent weed bed on the lake. And I've just seen another one, well, literally just now, saw another one out there. And I'm bored of this view. So right, what we can do with this fish. I might just show him to you and tip him back, to be honest. Let's have a look, see what we've actually got. He's a pretty one. Oh, he deserves more than that, doesn't he, after all that effort? Right, here we go. Take a quick bit of vid of him, then I'm going to pack up and move. Oh, not even going to weigh him, but he's a pretty one, so he does deserve a little bit of airtime. Probably, I don't know, 18, something like that. Certainly gave me a run around for my money. Wiped out the other rod. So they're all in now. I am relocating. So I'll see you in a new swim in a minute. Ta-da! Right, there we are, all set up. A bit of a mixed bag on the fortunes of setting up. The first one went pretty sweet, to be honest. Right out there, were exactly where I'd seen fish. Put a marker out, went next door to where I was, and stood in the same spot from where I was spotting them from, if that makes sense, and checked, and bang, the marker was right where it was. Second one, not quite so easy. It is absolutely solid weed out there. It is just chocker. And then I came across a little glowing spot. The visibility is so bad you can't see down with a glass bottom bucket. It's about 7 foot there, 6.5 foot, and you can't see the bottom. But I could see a gap in the weed with a glowing bit. I put the bucket over the side just for a look, and doof, I could see the bottom. So I tested the depth and it was about 4 foot. So obviously like a little hump comes up. It's quite stony and sandy and sort of gravelly on top. That's why the weed hasn't grown on it. Not my favourite sort of spot. I prefer the sand on the bottom, but still it's right in the middle of the thickest weed and it's a little gravel hump. So yeah, that had to be worth a go. So that was the first two without a lot of drama or disturbance. And then sort of, I don't know, I'm hoping I haven't buggered it up with the third one. I'm out there pouncing about for ages, just finding weed. And every time there was a gap in the weed, I'd drop a lead and pull it sideways and get low-lying weed. In the end, I've gone further left out towards those reeds, which I really didn't want to do, because you know, everyone that fishes in here fishes across that way. But I've come back as far as I can, off the reeds into slightly deeper. The only other bit of clear I could find. So I've actually only found 3 spots in between sort of where that gull's swooping about there, in between there and where he's now going to the right, well, right across to, can you see that yellow marker? A little yellow kinder egg out there. I don't know if we can focus on that or not. I haven't got my zoom lens on, so but basically the whole bit from the centre of the screen now right across to 10 yards off those reeds, it's just one big weed bed, which is obviously why I've seen carp, because there ain't a lot of other weed about, not tall weed. And there's a proper hatch coming out of it. You can see that gull now, he's swooping, you know, he's now taking little hatchy insects off of where I'm fishing. Well, it's all turned out a bit drizzle. One of those bivvy days. It's been persistently persisting down for hours. There ain't really an awful lot to do in the rain. I even watch Netflix. That's how bored I am. But hopefully this evening it'll all liven up. A few fish will show. I'll get a couple of bites. It'll all come together. That's the plan. Oh yeah, just laying down things tires you out, doesn't it? Well, I am mystified. I thought I'd made the perfect move. I know the swim gets fished a lot, but that area, like I said, not seen anyone fish it. Brand new weed bed, fish showing. As far as I could tell, only 3 spots out there. I'm on them all. Fish still showing when I went to bed. Got my head down nice and early, 9:30, because I thought I'm bound to be woken up by about midnight by the first bite. And it's now about 6:45 and nothing. I haven't seen them this morning, which is a little bit disconcerting. So either I've just been really unlucky and they've moved off just because they wanted to. I've spooked them off. Well, I saw them after my rigs were out. Or I don't know. The matey moves straight in after me and the snags, like literally straight in after me. I'm going to have a visit with him in a minute, see if he's caught anything. He probably has. But to be honest, I just couldn't sit in there for another day, not nailed down like that. You can't do anything. Can't leave your rods for 1 second. Yeah, don't know quite what to make of that. I think because I was so confident doing something different. Nothing happened. But there you go. That is carp fishing for you. Can't get it right every day. At least I've caught 3 fish this session. So, there we are. All packed away. Everything's in the boat. All nice and waterproofed because it's supposed to chuck it down in a minute. I'm hoping to get back before it does, just the rods to go. I spoke to matey next door in the swim I moved out of. He did have one. He had a 28 pounder. I'm not surprised. I knew I was moving off of fish, obviously, because I had one as I was moving. But I just wanted to try something different, new area, and hopefully try and find where the big ones are. But it didn't happen. But you don't know unless you try, do you? The battery on my phone's flashing away at me. 12% left, so that's going to die. I'll winch them in and do one. At least I've got some fish to show you this week, eh? So, till next time, ta-da for now.